I'm Pauline Edwards. Today I'm here in Trenchtown, my childhood community. I will be speaking to some mothers of Trenchtown who have struggled to raise their children in this volatile community. Some of them have lived through the horror of tribal politics in the 1970s and 80s. The community is the birthplace of reggae music, but it is also known as a hotbed for crime and violence. Trenchtown is a community in Jamaica situated in the parish of St. Andrew and the capital city Kingston. The community was previously known as Trench Pen, named after the 18th century Irish landowner Daniel Power Trench. He owned 400 acres of land which was used for livestock. The land was abandoned in the late 19th century, and in the 1930s, Trench Pen became a growing squatter settlement for people coming from other parishes to find work. The colonial government built some houses in the community. Some of the properties were rented and some were sold. 200 acres of Trench Pen was used to create Trenchtown, and the remaining 200 created the neighboring community, Rosetown. There was an uprising in Jamaica in 1938, which started in Westmoreland on a sugar plantation and spread to other parts of the island. After the dust was settled, two political parties emerged, headed by two cousins. Norman Manley, leader of the People's National Party, also called the PNP, and Alexander Bustamante, leader of the Jamaica Labour Party, also called the JLP. Edward Seaga, a Syrian man born in the United States, whose parents lived in Jamaica, joined the Jamaica Labour Party in the 1950s and won the Southwest constituency, which included the community Bakawal. Bakawal was a shanty town and a lot of Rasta men lived there. Back in those days, the Rastas were chanting down what they saw as Babylon's system, and to them politics was part of that. The Rastas were forcefully evicted from Bakawal, and the first political garrison was created in that community, which was later renamed Tivoli Gardens. Young members in Tivoli aligned themselves to the JLP and were given favors to intimidate the residents to vote for the JLP. The JLP have not lost an election in the Southwest constituency since. The JLP demolished the old board shacks and built new concrete dwellings for their faithful supporters. The JLP had also built a housing scheme in 3 miles and called it Tavares Gardens after the then JLP Minister of Housing, D.C. Tavares, and offered the dwellings to JLP supporters. But that community was weak in comparison to Tivoli Gardens and soon fell to the PNP. It is also called Painland. With Trenchtown only a few minutes away from Tivoli Gardens, and with a vibrant gang culture, it would only be a matter of time before it too would become a political colony. The community was poor, but there was something mystic in the air. Some of reggae music's famous ambassadors once called this place home. The community boasts 2 primary schools, 1 junior high and 2 secondary high schools, including Trenchtown Comprehensive, which was built in 1964, but yet the illiteracy rate is very high. barely feed. So many young men joined gangs and turned to crime to survive. The gang culture was very strong, and over the years, many have emerged, only for their members to be cut down violently. In the 1960s, there were gangs such as Vikings, Pigeon, and Saigon. In the 1970s, the Wild Bunch and Dreamer 13. In the 1980s, Angola Posse and the Rats. In the 1990s, came the Fatherless, Bibao, and Action Pack. Trenchtown is divided in two parts. There is Upper Trenchtown and Lower Trenchtown. Upper Trenchtown is named Arnett Gardens, also known as Concrete Jungle, and Lower Trenchtown named Wilton Gardens, also known as Rema. In the 1960s, the original gangsters operated all over the community, and families were scattered in all parts of the community. But that would later change. The PNP politicians were stunned by Tivoli's strong affiliation to the JLP. They too would create a garrison to rival Tivoli Gardens. Trenchtown was in close proximity of Tivoli Gardens and had a vibrant gang culture, so it was the perfect place for the PNP to set up home. The only problem, the original gangsters of Trenchtown would not agree to have their turf become a political enclave and then becoming tools for politicians. Their stance angered some of the PNP politicians, and soon many of the OGs were hunted down by the police. Some were killed, some went to prison, and some ran away. No one questioned their demise. After all, they were gangsters. As the OGs were flushed out of Trenchtown, their women and children were left behind, and this was a start of the fatherless children and single mother syndrome in Trenchtown. My uncle Uzi Foster and his friend Glenn Dillinger Pusey of the Vikings gang became victims of the extermination process. In 1967, Uzi was gunned down in the street in broad daylight by police officers. He was unarmed. In 1969, Dillinger was chased and shot 7 times by the police, but he survived the attempted assassination. He was imprisoned and sentenced to death for the crime of murder many Trenchtonians said he did not commit. Pusey was forced to defend himself in court when he refused to have the government legal aid lawyer to defend him. He made a gallant effort, but was no match for the well-seasoned prosecutor. When the judge handed down the death sentence, his mother, like many mothers of Trenchtown, screamed out. As he was led away, he stopped and looked at his mother and said, "Woman, behold thy son." Pusey, who was 5 feet 3 inches tall, refused to walk to the gallows. He fought for his life and he was beaten to death. With the OGs out of the way, Trenchtown was ripe for the picking.
Give thanks that you live with the whole of Trinity, that live that long life of long live, that live forever. Bob and Dora, who have sing One Love, One Heart, let's get together and feel alright, come. B O B. So during the time of absence when you never see me, you never heard of me, where no one could have told, I were doing great study, forget these revelations of what the book has fulfilled. So Trenchtown, Jamaica fulfilled the book of Revelation 2, verse 17, that speak of the hidden manna. And also fulfill the book of Proverbs that speak of the virtuous woman that lives forever. So I give thanks for those who know that side.
Okay.
All the gangs committed brutal crimes, but there are two which will remain in the psyche of those who lived in Trenchtown during their reign of terror. The battle lines were drawn. Upper Trenchtown and Lower Trenchtown went at each other. An eye for an eye was leaving everyone blind. The residents were angry and revengeful, and the enforcers had a taste for blood. It was not surprising when they imploded and turned on each other. Rima 13 gang was based in Lower Trenchtown and was led by the infamous Pushwood. This gang was formed in the 1970s and came about as an enforcer crew for the JLP in Trenchtown. Pushwood was gunned down and a one Howard Hewitt, also known as Curly Locks, took over and ran terror on his own community. He was also gunned down by a young man he gave a beating 1 week earlier. In Upper Trenchtown, the Angola posse terrorized the community. They raped, they killed, and they robbed. Anyone who opposed them would disappear, never to be seen again. The Angola crew went on a rampage of crime. They were challenged by a few other area dons, but Angola posse members outnumbered them. The Member of Parliament, Anthony Spalding, was slow to act, and the police were either overwhelmed or just did not care. It was left up to the other area dons to deal with the problem. The Angola men reign of terror came to an end when some of their members kidnapped two sisters from the community and raped them. Their mother cried and begged the men for mercy. Under pressure, the MP met with a few other area dons and came up with a plan to flush out the mighty Angola men who were out of control and grew large because of tribal politics. The MP recruited men from other PMP garrisons such as Waterhouse, Warika Hill, and Matthews Lane. And even with the best of PMP allied enforcers, Angola men put up a good fight. They only fled when they ran out of ammunition. I wonder if politicians really know and understand the depth of cruelty that took place in Trenchtown in their names.
My grandfather and I, my brother and I, lived on this apartment building, and we resided in one of the small bed sets. I'm going to just take you inside and show you somebody has kindly offered for us to look inside the apartments, and you see how small they are. And you could have a woman, single parent, or even man and woman living with up to 6, 7, 8 children in one of these small apartments. They're really bed sets, most of them. But on the ground floor here, you have the 2-bedroom one. So somebody has kindly offered for us to go in and look. We will first look at the ground floor one, which is a 2-bedroom, and then we'll go upstairs and look at one of the bed sets. This is the living room area, and this is the kitchen. As you can see, the kitchen is very small. As a matter of fact, we're standing in the entire kitchen area. See the windows? This window is falling out. These places hasn't been repaired for a long time. I hope you can get a good view. This is the bed set that me and my grandfather and brother lived in, and I'm trying to show you the entire apartment. That's the bathroom door over there. This was our little wardrobe there, and that's the entire apartment. And as I said, sometimes a woman with 6, 7 children live into one of these small bed sets. And as I'm standing here, you can see the entire apartment of this little accommodation.
By 1984, the people in Lower Trenchtown got tired of being the orphaned cousin of Tivoli Gardens and threatened to vote for the PNP. This caused armed men from Tivoli Gardens to go across the road to Lower Trenchtown and teach them a lesson. It was a massacre. The residents of Lower Trenchtown called the incident May 8th atrocity. As the enforcers in Lower Trenchtown depended on their allies in Tivoli Gardens to give them guns and ammunition, they were at a disadvantage when they came under attack from the piper who called their tune. But Lower Trenchtownians had to defend themselves by any means, as Tivoli men were in a killing mood. 8 young men went forward to face the might of the Tivoli assassins. They were called the Rats. The Rats became the first line of defense in the infamous attack on Lower Trenchtown by Tivoli men in May 1984. The Rats fought courageously but did not have the weaponry to stay with the fight against the might of the Tivoli warlords. They were trapped between Tivoli men and their political foes in Upper Trenchtown, but a miracle took place that day. As the Tivoli assassins advanced in on the people in Lower Trenchtown, leaving dead bodies in their wake, the residents ran to 6th Street, that is called No Man's Land. Men with guns from Upper Trenchtown were waiting on 7th Street. Little Bull, a member of the Rats gang, took off his white vest and tied it on a broomstick and walked towards the men in Upper Trenchtown. The men in Upper Trenchtown went down to hug him, and the rest of Lower Trenchtown residents followed. The border has been reopened since, but the blood stain of the past continues to haunt my old community. So today I am the prodigal daughter who has returned. My mission here today is to try and get a picture of what effect political violence has had on the community and its residents. So I will be speaking to some of the mothers of Trenchtown. I'm speaking to Joy today. Joy, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And thanks for talking to me today. Were you born in Trenchtown?
Yeah,
Yeah. Do you have any children?
I have 2 children.
What children? Are you working, Joy?
We have a little small business.
Yeah. What do you do?
I sell bag juice, sometimes up and down.
So, do you manage to survive with the business you're doing?
Yeah, because I can eat food, you know. So you want to work out, can finish work out.
How was Trenchtown in the 60s compared to now?
It was very terrible, but now it was better, but now it's worse, because in those days it was better.
In the 60s,
Yeah,
it was better.
better. You have Sidons and Vikings, and even though when they were warring, you could walk and look at them and no one would do hurting or nothing. You'd watch man turn back to them and those things. And you depend any side your favor, you say, I want that side to win. Just turn and back again. You understand? So those years was much better than now. Now it's worse.
When you say worse, what happened these days?
Well, you can ask me, what do you mean you are working now? My God, you say no. After you go man, I don't know what it is. And you have to see I'm blind and you're worse. tell you. Because you know, people are dead like rice. It's not so nice like one brother. And this get a
You don't think it could come back to it?
if we try to do something, I feel it will come back. If we, people in the community, try, it will come back. Yeah, we have to organize and have even a community meeting to try, you understand, with our children. Because it's so horrible. We, the mother and the parents and people have to get together so that we can try to make a change, hope for a change, and hope the best that God will make something good happen for us and our children.
What about the fathers?
Most of these children are fatherless in this place because their father have gone down. You understand? So most of them are fatherless in the
Trenchtown?
Trenchtown.
How has tribal politics impacted on your life?
Well, in those days, politics, it caused a split up, the PMP and the Labour. You understand that even though some of the people don't know what was Labour like, switch back to PMP. You understand? In those days it was much better, but now it's not better. It's worse. The politics have split up the place.
And do you think it was politics that started the problem, or it started before?
Politics. What I know of, it's politics.
Politics destroyed the place.
Yeah.
When Trenchtown was divided in two, you have Upper Trenchtown aligned themselves to the PMP, Lower Trenchtown aligned themselves to the JLP.
Yeah.
Did you align yourself to the JLP?
Yeah, because I'm a Labourite.
You're a Labourite,
Yes.
that's what you call yourself.
Yeah.
You're a JLP supporter.
Yes.
So, how did you see the people in Upper Trenchtown?
Well, and you go on the road outside, you'll see them, and they still talk same way. And you'll see them and they will talk same way. But you can't go up and then can't come down because some other.
Yeah. Do you remember when the border was closed between Upper Trenchtown and Lower Trenchtown?
I don't really remember the place still, but remember when it closed still, when they started the fighting, you understand? Yeah. It was very horrible. The fighting started and then now people have to run up and down, house have burned down, managing burned down, all the big restaurant. Because Trenchtown was a nice place. One per restaurant and big place they there here. Through the politics, match up the place, house have burned down, restaurant have burned down, managing big furniture place, people just have grab and not take and run and people are run for them life. Yeah, and I remember in those days again, when we were here again, when the people them coming and the people them put them over to take what them over. Yeah, even a young man got shot and died because the soldier them was there. They coming to kill off the people then. And that soldier man see a man with a gun. Send that for gun down. And from this on now, we have to run. You understand? We don't go a place, them do a place. Understand?
Have you lost anyone to violence?
Yes, I lost my son. First I lost my brother. I lost my nephew. Oh my God. He was coming from, they hold him at the detention camp and he was coming, and when coming, same people.
Why did they hold him?
They would just raid the community, take them away, carry them go back bush, let them go. And while he was coming and matches there, and two was the tallest one, and the man them still them. And I said, the boy will calculate right here. Fire the gunshot. And
So they were walking to a PMP?
Yes, they were walking to a PMP here, and that's why the police didn't let them have. They didn't have no fear to come up, so they have to walk. You understand? And he got the shot. Got to hospital, died about 2 years after. And also then, my son was in the area again. Well, they say he was mixed up. But how it happened at that time, when they were running down man and my son was there, I overheard when my daughter called me and said, Joy, and I said, what is it? They say, your son police shooting, and when I was coming out with my hand up in the air, the policeman was firing up the shot. I didn't know if me was a fighter after that time, but I would have my hand up in the air, and anyway, it up that my daughter run left me because she was scared. But when I go down, and when I go down, I see my son was trying to help my son. And would you believe that them take my son out of my hand, and the policeman told the next policeman, me say kill the girl. The policeman still across the road and throw a big stone straight on my side. The only thing I could have done just run out and go up there and just look at them. My son, he never died, so he was here looking and just rolling over an eye. They took my son, came to Gem Road and took him like, give him 7 more shots and 1 shot that he did. Oh God, it was horrible, man. Wicked.
If you could move somewhere else, would you do so?
Oh yes, my darling. I wouldn't mind if I could get somewhere right now to come out of this place. I would feel much better, have more peace.
What's stopping you from moving?
I don't have the money. I don't have no way. I can't live without money. I have to get some money to go get a hotel of a rent or something.
What is your hope for your community?
See this place changing and this young youth, and my God, because when I see them walking up and go without jobs and nothing, you understand, I hope for the best for them if they could come together and, you know, the community and build something that they could have even a training center that they could go and learn some trade that much better for them. And I know, my God, if they get a job, if they get the job, they will do it. Because I have youth out here that are willing, but they don't have anything to do. Nothing. And I hope for the best for them.
How can you help with the change that you want for your community?
I want the parents and the young man, everybody to come together. That's what we can organize something for them. You understand? The bigger heads them, something better that, you know, something better for them. I feel like if we could organize something, it would work out much better for them. Because these youth now, they are so horrible, and even the mother, them, sometimes when they talk to them, they not hear them mother. They not hear them mother. They even curse them mother. You understand? Because your mother will see you and go and say, you don't make one, it's not right. No business, they not hear them mother, because they say, well, they don't go source of a wallet. A wallet, a man will kill a man girl, a man all $1,000, so kill a man, man go kill him. Because he want something, so you can do it.
What about the fathers?
These youth are fatherless. Most of them are fatherless, no father. So you see all them things again, they have it in their intention. So if they see anything, or any man, they're not going to go shoot and forget that one. They don't have no father. They're not about to forget that.
So are you saying most of the homes are headed by females?
Yes, most of them. If you go around and ask you what you want, pure female, no father. Who no guy left them people dead. No father no there. Or the mother and father dead. There's no father in there.
I noticed the apartments here, they are very small. Some of them are just bed seats. Some are lucky to have a 2-bedroom apartment. How mothers in this community manage to have 7 children, 4 children, 5 children in a bed seat?
Well, them still manage, you know.
So where the children sleep?
Some of them no grown it then, man. Some of them have to just grown it. Because if they put even 2 bed in there. And that's so much of them. Some of them, the most of the parents go on the floor, let the children sleep.
Do you think that if the people in the community stop voting and start demanding better, that politicians will listen to them?
Yes, man. Yeah, man, we have to talk one for true, man.
Yeah, because I see them vote, and the people them who vote the most get the legs.
Yeah, right. So true. Yeah, so we need to stop it.
Maybe they need to stop it. Did you know that your community, Trenchtown, is the birthplace of reggae music?
Oh, yes.
So Trenchtown really is the cultural hub of Jamaica?
Yeah. Bob Marley and them man great. Man, Rima. All the man them, I know. Rima them come from. I sing them long time song, Rima. Yeah, man, a Trenchtown, yeah. Good place. We just need a help. I want to know what can happen, you know, but just say, go up to the Father for one day.
Were you born in Trenchtown, Beverly?
Yes, I was born in Victoria Jubilee Hospital, moved on to 2A East Central Road. When I'm 10 years of age, I'm removed to 5th Street.
Okay, and you've been living in Lower Trenchtown?
Yeah, Lower St. Andrew.
Okay. This is Trenchtown. Why they call it Rima and Upper Trenchtown Jungle?
Yeah, because of violence, this community get the name Rima. This community did not have the name Rima. There is one place in Trenchtown by the name of Rima. We're out by East Road. 3 building, a firm from America built 3 building and called the name Rima. The house, the firm, were Rima that built those 3 houses.
Okay. And they just give the entire community
Yeah,
Rima?
violence gave the name Rima.
Okay. Do you have any children, Beverly?
Oh yes, I have 3 beautiful daughters and 2 sons.
Are you working at the moment?
No, I'm self-employed at the moment.
Okay. And do you make ends meet with what you do?
Yeah, my kids gave me food on my table.
How was Trenchtown in the 60s compared to now?
Wow. Trenchtown was a wonderful time. I was born 1962 in the parish of St. Andrew. And when I'm a girl growing up in here, I could walk any hours inside here. I didn't get any type of brutality inside here. I was respected by the peoples and I was respected by each and everyone inside here. Because of violence in this community, the place get so upstir and things getting bad out of hand. I hope and pray that this community could come back like back in the days when I born in Trenchtown. Politics affect me very bad, very bad. Politics at the moment, 1972, when Michael Mann won his first election, it was a wonderful election. 76, a wonderful. Now, it's a terrible sight in Trenchtown for this election. The Minister Portia Simpson-Miller and our colleagues of this community so wrecked and wreck. I don't want those politicians more in Jamaica.
But you said Prime Minister Manley was a good politician.
Yeah.
And but at that time, he's a People's National Party member, but you voted for the Jamaica Labour Party. Why?
Because when he went on stage at Arfetry, he said, people, I'm here for the poor and needy ones. Come to me and let your plead come down to me. I'm here for you. And he did it because I could buy a pound of rice for $10 when my mother sent me a pound of chicken for $30. Now I can hardly buy a pound of chicken $200.
But
That's terrible.
Why didn't you vote for it?
The reason why I did not vote for Mr. Michael Mann, I was born in a house where people that support the Jamaica Labour Party, and I chose that one.
So you voted according to your family's
Yes.
rather than who is better for the country.
Better management for the country at that time was Michael Manley, but my mother was a supporter of the Jamaica Labour Party. She told me the history that Winton Hill and DC Tavares has done a lot for she and her mother.
Do you remember when the border was closed?
Oh yes, that border was closed in 1978, 1989. When that border closed. But I still go to and from because I had a lot of sisters at the time, so I moved to and from. It didn't affect me.
And they didn't bother you when you were going up there?
No, because I try to socialize myself with everyone. I socialize myself with the bigger heads, the smaller heads.
Have you lost anyone to the violence?
Lots of friends in the violence. And I lost all my son, but my son that I lost wasn't the politics war, it was like community war. Yeah.
And how did he die?
He get multiple stab wound up by his workplace at after Mullines Road.
If you could move to another area, would you do so?
Yeah, I will.
You would?
Yeah.
What is your hope for your community?
Better management, better management, better respect. Because they say that nothing good come out of change. But I can stand up as a young girl and tell them that's a lie. We have cricketer, footballer, we have Bob Marley come here and make his name, Peter Touch, and Bunny Whalers, all of them come here and make their name. The change that I want, I need a big support with me, like to come and stand up for our rights. And the rights that we need to stand up for is to cut out this politics, cut it out and get back the community together, cut the violence out and get back this community together.
Miss Peggy, were you born in Trenchtown?
Yes, I was born in Trenchtown.
How many brothers and sisters you have?
I did have 8 brothers and 4 sisters, so it's 5 sisters. We met 5.
So it's 4 sisters?
Yes, and we met 5.
5 girls and
8 boys.
okay. And your mother and father live together?
Yes.
Where did you live?
I live at 59th Street.
And was that Upper Trenchtown?
Upper Trenchtown, where they call Arnett Garden now. Those days it wasn't the Arnett Garden, it was just Trenchtown and Arms House Burying Ground.
Okay. Do you have any children?
Yes, I have 7 children. 1 died in violence. Not because he wasn't a violent child, but they take him away. Police had curfew the area and take him away and carried him, let him go at night, and he was returning back to man somewhere and he got killed by some man down in West Kingston.
Are you working now?
Yes, I am working right now.
And are you able to make ends meet with what the money you get?
I have to try and make myself comfortable everywhere I can. I try to budget myself and make myself comfortable in any way I find. You know?
How was Trenchtown in the 60s compared to now?
Well, Trenchtown in the 60s, that was good because those days we didn't afraid of gunmen. The only thing we did fear was them said duck here come, but you know you could leave your door open and you could sleep, you could walk any hours and night. You don't have to face nobody going to trouble you. The only thing we was afraid of is duck.
What about the gangs in the 60s?
Well, the gangs in the 60s, they were around, but
Who were they? What were their names?
you have the Vikings, you have the Saigon, and
Were they violent? Did they have guns?
they didn't, to my knowledge, they will have maybe 1 or 2 that have gun, but they didn't come up with a gun that people can see them gun like how people have their gun now. Regular, you can just see them walking with it in their hand. If that wasn't in those days. Mostly was stone and battle and cutlass. Tribal politics affect me very badly because you know, the bar that did lock, we couldn't go through and forth. We have to stay at our park. We couldn't go nowhere elsewhere we live.
When you said the border closed, you mean the border in Trenchtown?
The border in Trenchtown closed.
When was that? Because of politics?
Because yes, because politics now take over the place. Because you know, because after it is coming down.
And do you know why the border was closed?
Because now politics, labor right and PMP is not close again anymore, because first time labor rights and PMP, they were so close. Because I remember when I was a kid and when PMP meeting, marching a pass, I could run and follow that meeting. And if Labour Right run a pass, I could run and follow that marching. But it was changed in sense with everything changed. If you're on that side, you have to keep on that side. If you're on the other side, you have to keep on the other side. You couldn't go to no more meeting unless it's the one what you're supporting.
Okay. But you said you lived in Upper Trenchtown.
Yeah.
And that is now a PMP garrison.
Yeah.
When the border closed, what happened?
When the border closed, we all have to flee from up. We have to, everybody from up there have to come down because
Everybody from
like the Labour Right them who they have to run away. Because my father was a Labour Right, so I grow up, come see my father as a Labour Right, so I did still call myself a Labour Right. But now I realize that I'm a Jamaican.
the people in Upper Trenchtown.
Well, the people them on Upper Trenchtown now, because most of them, the what they up there, what who come and take over, I never, most of them is not the original people who did live there before, just people who come in. People who come in from down Bacawal and Boyson, and so most of those people, I don't know them. The only set of people where I don't know the Sprotters, them and the Brady, them and the Michael, them. There was only the set of people them who left what I did know, because new people just come in and take over the place. Yeah.
How do you see the people in Upper Trenchtown now?
Well, the people in Upper Trenchtown now, they themselves realize now that they are Jamaican, because now they say they stop fight politics. They don't talk about politics anymore. They must talking about survivors now. Because they say that the two party wasn't helping, they was just let them lose their loved one on a daily basis. You understand?
But even though they're not voting for our fighting politics, they still have a gang war. What causing that?
But that gang war, what they have now, it's not a politician war. It's just turf. Labour Right and Labour Right are fight. PMP is fighting now. So it's not politics now. It's just turf. Man who bigger than who and who can make more money. That's what's going on now. It's not now and who want to be done over who. So
have you lost anyone to violence?
Yes, I've lost my son. I lost my nephew and my cousin. Yeah, I lost over 8 family members in violence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I notice, these apartments that I see in Trenchtown, because I myself lived in one, they're very small,
Yeah.
and they're housing a lot of people.
Yes.
How these children, women manage to house all these children, up to 10 children in one bedroom?
Well, those well, they always who can go underneath the bed. Sometimes the mother would go on the floor, give the child them the preference of the bed, and sometimes the child them have to go on the floor. No, but somebody have to take the floor. You understand? Yeah. So everyone couldn't go on the bed, but you know, those days still, children didn't really have manners.
But even now, they're still living in there.
That's why they go on like this now, because you see, they're in the one room and they realize what's going on with their parents and their boyfriend or even their father. So that's why the children them are just out there doing their own thing. Some of them getting pregnant early because they know what their mother, their father, their boyfriend is going on in the one room. You understand?
Mm-hmm. If you could move to another area, would you move, sir?
Yes, as I did, I moved out of this era right now.
So why you're here now?
Because my children, them are still here, and this place, it's coming like I am addicted to Trenchtown. Trenchtown Rock, don't watch that one. You know, so I just would love to see the unity in Trenchtown come back, because we are a loving set of people. So you know, and easy for our goes out for people. So we are just like the day. I pray the day that when we could have walk again, when the 19 bus used to run and 17 bus, that was like we living in foreign those time when we see those things. But no, I hope and pray that the day will come back when Trenchtown will be Trenchtown again.
What is your hope for this community?
Well, my hope for this community, if the young people them could get some more job, yeah, they want some more jobs, they want some help. Trenchtown needs some help, you know, because if somebody could just give them some more, because it's not that they don't want the work, you know, they want the work, but they don't know where to go, so they just take crime for it. If they even see you come, they would not even want to rob you, because they don't know where the next meal is coming from. Understand?
What I noticed, there are a lot of single mothers around. Do you think the mothers can help? Are the mothers contributing in the wrongs that their children doing?
Most of the mothers, most of them, because say you dare see their child doing something wrong, and you go and say them. They said, don't watch my child, don't watch my child. They're not, no? So them is the one who bringing their child right down to destruction, because they don't, you don't have to beat that child, and you take your child and talk to your child, make them know that they are going the wrong direction. Because say, my boys, them, I grow them here. I never been to a police station yet and say that they do anything. The only time when I've been to a police station when they have curfew, because you know when they have curfew from the in this era, them go and scrape up everybody. So there was the only time when I've been to a station, just so you can have your children in a city and them can grow good.
Okay. What about the fathers?
Fathers now, sometimes the fathers them coming like them is here but them is not here, because say they are not there for their children. They don't know when the children, all them, if them can give them little food, that is okay for them. But to come in and sit down and say, let me see your book, what you learn in school today. No, they don't play no role in their children's life. They only know that they can buy them a clocks when Christmas come, and that's it. It's them to show them the love, them to play football with them to do nothing to us.
Is it because their fathers didn't do it to them?
That's right. They didn't have a father who show them that love, so them just come up the same very way and don't show. But sometimes, you know, you have to look in and say, what I don't get from my father, I would like it to give it to my children then. But they, you know, they don't.
But some of these women, they have 6 children, 10 children for 10 different men.
Yeah.
So there's no stability for the children.
Yes, because when they do it like that, they know they say they get enough money. Because them send you one and you don't get the money, they must get what money from the next one.
From the next father?
Yes, that's what, and you know, that's what they, yeah. So that is, oh yeah.
Okay. If you see a crime, would you report it to the police?
Well, if I see a crime, I would like to report that crime to the police, but I don't trust the police. Why? because the same police who you give the information, they same one come back in the community and tell the guys them is who give them the information. So they is there to protect you and you are protecting the community, but they are not.
Did you know that Trenchtown is the birthplace for reggae music?
Yes, I didn't know. Well, I know, man. I said, then I remember when we used to sit in a government yard in Trenchtown, when Georgie would count the firelight, which would have burning through the night. Then we would cook come in porridge, her fish I'd share with you. No woman no cry. I was always loved that song, you know. When he said no woman no cry, I always loved that song. And Bob, I remember although Bob, when I used to come from down Spanish Town would come up. That time it was a Cali Smith Drive, it was West East Road. And Bob used to at First Street and they were out there with their little guitar. Yeah man, all those singers, Rai Shirley. Trenchtown produced a whole heap of reggae artists. We have Toots and the Maters. You don't know that Toots, they didn't know that Toots grew up in, he come from country and was in Arms House Bearing Ground. Toots. Yeah. So we have one in reggae music.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Merlene. Were you born in Trenchtown?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Do you have any children, Marlene?
4 kids.
And are you working now?
No.
Or do you make ends meet?
My, that is a rough question to answer, to tell you the truth. I'm struggling to make it meet. My income is $3,000 a week and I owe it out before I even get it.
How was Trenchtown in the 60s compared to now?
In the 60s it was better than now. It is better than now. Because gun never prevalent like now. And we could walk free any hours of the night.
And now?
And now we're afraid to walk now.
How was tribal politics affected your life?
Right now it is not as bad as it was in the 70s. In the 70s, people used to kill over politics. Now we're getting sensible.
When the border was closed in Upper Trenchtown and Lower Trenchtown, how did you deal with people living in Lower Trenchtown?
Well, that is a question that I could not answer now, because at the time, we had to hold our attention in Arnett Garden because it was separated from Rima. So like now, it is very peaceful. We can go from there to, from here to there.
But how did you see the people then? Did you see them as one of you? Did you hate them?
No, I didn't hate them. We are one.
Have you lost anyone to tribal politics or violence?
No, I don't last any family member.
Has anyone caught up in tribal politics or violence in the area? Anybody involved in it in your family?
No.
If you could move to somewhere else, would you move from where you are now?
It depends on where I am going. I would really like to move, but depends on where I am going to live.
Yeah. To a nicer area, would you
Nicer
go?
area.
What is your hope for your community? Or would you like to see change?
Well, I would like to see the changes in better living. We can get up and have our food every day. The food is the main thing, and that is not what we have in our area. With the unemployment is #1 in Arnett Garden.
How can you help to make change in your community?
I cannot do a thing to make it, because the MP not visiting us to hear our cry. We only see him when it is coming around election time.
What I noticed though is in this community, the houses are small, yet the families are big.
Large.
How do they manage?
Well, we make ourselves used to the condition, you know. We're comfortably in it for the time being, trust me.
And the other thing is you have a lot of single mothers growing up children.
Yes.
Where are the fathers?
Some of the fathers dead. Some says not them are the father, while some gone abroad and don't remember the kids them out here.
If you see a crime, would you report it to the police?
I wouldn't do it, you know, because the police them same one giving back out the information.
Good evening, Marlene.
Good evening.
I know you from a long time, Marlene, and I just come to ask you a few questions about Trenchtown and how life is with you living in Trenchtown. So, Marlene, were you born in Trenchtown?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you, all your family members live in Trenchtown?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many brothers and sisters you are?
Right. 21 of us.
21 of you, Marlene?
Yeah.
Marlene, what I noticed that the houses are small, the families are large. How do they manage these large families in these tiny apartments?
We have to make space, you know. If one bed can hold in that corner, we put it there. And if one can hold in this corner, we put it there.
Do you think that sometimes that contribute to children start adult relationship too early?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, because when them go there and them get contribution from the men them, it drive them to go out and have sex with them and here it ends.
Are you working now, Marlene?
No, I'm unable to.
What's wrong with you?
I had blood circulation in my 2 feet and one is crippled and I cannot neither walk nor stand.
Okay, so how do you make ends meet, Marlene?
Why, by the grace of God assisted me. I tried and I get through.
So who help you? I know it's the grace of God, but how do you manage? Who give you money?
Well, sometimes I don't get any money none at all. For 2-3 months I don't hold no money. But my daughter sometimes, she had 6 children, sometimes she can give me a $500, $1,000 and that carry me through.
How was Trenchtown in the 60s compared to now?
Well, when I was a girl growing up in Trenchtown, Trenchtown was a nice place. You could sit on the corner till hours of night and you can move around whenever you please.